I still remember the way the sunlight fell across our apartment that morning, warm and golden, like it was trying to tell me everything was perfect. I was standing in the kitchen, humming softly while pouring coffee for two. His favorite mug in my hands, the one I'd bought him on our second anniversary. My name is Sophia, and for 4 years, I believed I had found my forever. Daniel was my safe place, the man who held me through my mother's illness, who celebrated every small win with me, who whispered, "I love you," like it was a promise carved in stone. And then there was Elena, my best friend since college, the one who knew every secret, every fear, every dream I'd ever had. We were sisters in every way that mattered, or so I thought. That day started like any other. I had planned a surprise dinner for Daniel's promotion. I left work early, picked up his favorite wine, and came home with a heart full of love. The laughter I heard from our bedroom should have been innocent, but something in the air felt wrong, heavy. I pushed the door open slowly. There they were, Daniel and Elena, tangled together in the sheets I had washed just yesterday. Her hands on his chest, his lips on her neck, the same neck I used to kiss goodnight. The tray in my hands slipped. The wine bottle shattered across the floor, red liquid spreading like blood. They both turned, eyes wide with shock. Elena's face, my best friend's face, went pale. Daniel tried to speak, but what could he possibly say? I didn't scream. I didn't cry, not then. I just stood there, feeling something inside me crack wide open. The kind of break that doesn't make a sound, but changes everything. "How long?" I whispered, my voice barely holding together. Elena looked away. Daniel reached for his shirt, mumbling something about it being a mistake. A mistake. 4 years of my life reduced to a careless mistake. I turned and walked out, leaving the broken glass behind me. That was the moment my world ended. But it was also the moment something new, something colder, sharper, was born inside me. The next few weeks were hell. I moved out the same night and stayed with my cousin. Every night I replayed that scene in my head until I couldn't breathe. The betrayal wasn't just from him, it was from her. The woman I had trusted with my deepest insecurities, who had cried with me when Daniel and I fought, who had helped me pick out my engagement ring. I found out later they had been seeing each other for almost 8 months. 8 months of stolen moments while I was planning our future. 8 months of lies. Elena would text me, "I love you, babe," while texting him, "I can't stop thinking about last night." I was shattered, completely broken. I stopped eating properly. I lost weight. I cried in the shower so no one would hear. Friends tried to comfort me, but their words felt hollow. "You deserve better. Time heals all wounds." But I didn't want time. I wanted justice. I spent hours going through old messages, photos, everything. I discovered they had been mocking me. Late-night conversations where Elena would say things like, "She's so naive. She still thinks you're working late." And Daniel would laugh and reply, "She makes it too easy." That pain turned into something else, a quiet, burning resolve. I didn't want to scream at them. I didn't want to beg or fight. I wanted them to feel what I felt. The moment when everything you built collapses and the people you loved are the ones holding the hammer. So I started planning, not out of rage, but out of necessity. I needed to reclaim my power. First, I focused on myself. I got a new haircut, started going to the gym, poured everything into my career. I got promoted at work, the same company where Daniel worked as a senior manager. I made sure people saw the new version of me, strong, unbreakable, glowing. Meanwhile, I stayed silent. I never posted anything dramatic. I simply disappeared from their lives. No blocking, no outbursts, just absence. And that silence terrified them more than anything. Elena tried calling me multiple times, left voicemails crying, saying she missed me, that it was a horrible mistake. Daniel sent long messages about how he still loved me and wanted to fix things. I read every single one and never replied. But I was watching, quietly gathering the pieces. 6 months later, I was ready. Daniel had been working on a major project at the company, one that could make or break his career, a high-stakes presentation to the board. I knew every detail because I had become close with his team while working on overlapping projects. They trusted me. They liked me. The night before the big presentation, I made sure certain files on the shared drive were adjusted, not enough to destroy him completely, but enough to make him look careless, incompetent, the kind of mistake that raises questions about integrity. During the presentation, when Daniel opened his slides, several key figures were wrong. Numbers didn't add up. The board members frowned. Whispers spread. His boss looked furious. Later that day, an anonymous email went to HR with screenshots of inappropriate messages between Daniel and Elena, who also worked at the same company in the marketing department. Messages that proved they had been using company resources and time for their affair, including during work hours. The company launched an internal investigation. Both of them were suspended pending review. Their reputations took a hit. People started talking. The perfect couple they thought they were building behind my back started crumbling under public scrutiny. Elena reached out to me one last time, voice shaking on the phone. "Sophia, did you do this?" I finally answered. "I didn't do anything you didn't deserve," I said softly. "You both took my trust and burned it. I simply showed everyone who you really are." I hung up. Daniel lost the promotion. Elena lost several close friends who were disgusted by what they had done. Their relationship fell apart shortly after. Turns out it was easier to cheat together than to actually build something real. As for me, I thrived. I started traveling. I met someone new, someone who looks at me like I'm the only woman in the room. But more importantly, I met myself again. The version of me that doesn't shrink to make others comfortable. The version that knows her worth. Looking back, I don't regret the pain. It stripped away everything fake and showed me my own strength. If you're watching this and you've been betrayed by someone you loved and trusted, know this: your silence can be more powerful than their noise. Your healing is the ultimate revenge. Don't become bitter. Become untouchable. They may have broken my heart, but they awakened something in me they could never destroy. My name is Sophia, and I'm finally free. Thank you for listening to my story. If it touched you, please share it with someone who needs to hear they're not alone. Drop a comment with the word "stronger" if you've ever risen from betrayal. Until next time, protect your heart, but never stop shining.